Tell me when you're stable. Start nice and quiet. You're framing them right, yes, sir. Ready? Yeah. Okay.
Alice, you've just finished your final rehearsal for your headline appearance at the Reading Festival tomorrow night. As we can see, the road crew are taking down the stage.
Fresh blood.
Fresh blood on the guillotine.
Yeah.
Drum kit's still there. The guillotine will be the last to go.
Yeah, right. I take this back to the hotel with me.
Right. In a way, it's quite symbolic, because I understand that at Reading it's going to be the last time we're going to see this particular stage show.
This will be the last performance of The Nightmare Returns. And we did over 120 shows of this. Actually, we did about 15 shows here in England, which was great last winter. And this will be the last production of this, and then we're going to go into a new production starting September, October.
Right. So I presume the new production ties in with the forthcoming album you've got.
Yes.
It's called Raise Your Fist and Yell,
Raise Your Fist and Yell, and it's to me it's the most exciting album we've ever had out. I think it's got everything that I wanted to hear in 1988. And we give Kane a lot more room to play on this one, and we give Ken Mary a lot more room on drums and everything. And
well, I would say it's definitely a heavier sounding album, but a richer sounding album as well than your last Constrictor.
So. Yeah, I think so. Constrictor was kind of like, we almost looked at Constrictor as our first album, because the 18 albums before that, or 17 albums before that, were sort of like, that's in another era, as far as I'm concerned. So we're starting all over. Constrictor was #1. This is like the second album, as far as.
Would you say that it's a heavy metal album as such, or is it slightly different?
I'd say it's metal-ish. I think we tried to get the best parts of metal. But for me, the best part of metal is the energy and the sound of the guitars, sound of the drums, all working together. I think where metal misses is that too many bands try to sound the same. Everybody's trying to sound like Ronnie Dio. It's
very epic,
great operatic kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's great for Ronnie Dio, but I mean, just too many bands try to copy that. So you have a lot of bands sounding the same. I think we took the best part of that kind of sound and took that voice out and put Alice's voice in with my kind of lyrics.
You've certainly taken the energy from heavy metal.
Absolutely.
There aren't really any ballads on the album, are there?
Gale.
Not as such. Yes, there's a track called Gale. That's
Gale,
right.
which will never get played on the radio because it's really sick. I mean, I admit it, it's really sick, but I like it.
Gale comes towards the end of side 2, and the whole album really builds up on side 2. It's like a sort of a splatter movie put to music, isn't
Part
it?
2, yeah, side 2 is actually a whole splatter scene. It's about a guy that watches so many splatter movies. It's kind of autobiographical. That he doesn't know where his life begins and where the movie ends, and where they're both interchangeable. And so all these characters that he keeps finding dead are named Gale. And he can't figure out why. He doesn't know if they're characters or if they're real victims. So, I mean, it's just really an interesting sort of psychodrama.
I think as part of that scenario, there's a very subtle little ditty called Chop, Chop, Chop.
Chop, Chop, Chop is a very subtle little thing that I'm very proud of. It's kind of self-explanatory.
That's true. Also on side 2, there's another track called Prince of Darkness.
Yes.
Now, I understand that you're also going to be appearing in a John Carpenter film called Prince of Darkness. So is therefore that track going to be in the film as well?
It will be in the film, and the part I play in that is, I mean, John Carpenter is one of my heroes, since Halloween and The Thing and all the great films he's done. And I actually just went down to the set to watch him film it.
Oh, really?
He stuck me in the movie, and then he expanded the part. So I actually do wipe a few people out in the movie.
How many people do you kill in this one?
Well, I can't. I think as it is right now, just one.
Because I think in the film Monster Dog, he killed about 7 or 8, wasn't it?
7 or 8, yeah.
Which is not bad going.
No, but this is a real spectacular one, though. This is a very tasteful kind of.
Right. Well, you mentioned the film is called Prince of Darkness. I imagine in some parts of America, people probably think you are the Prince of Darkness.
Yeah, it's so funny, because it's like nobody's into Satan worship. Nobody's into that kind of thing at all. I think the context of the movie is the fact that the movie has something to do with them having the devil trapped. But no, I'm not the Prince of Darkness. I'm probably especially not the Prince, the king of horror.
There is also quite a lot of humour in the stuff you're doing. If people listen close to the lyrics, some of them are actually quite funny as well.
Oh, I think so. I don't think it would be worth doing if it didn't have humour involved in it. Most of the horror movies that I rent, I go out and rent 5 or 6 a day, and most of them are very funny. I mean, Evil Dead, I just saw Evil Dead Part 2.
Oh, right, yeah.
I was laughing so hard because it went so past the point of absurdity. If you watch Part 1 and 2 together, it's just too much to watch it, at one sitting. But I thought it was very funny. I don't know, people could take that seriously, but I can't see how they could take those movies seriously.
It's true. A lot of horror films are quite funny, but what sort of things do you find genuinely frightening?
Well, as far as movies go, there's a couple of films I found scary. I thought the Suspiria was scary, and I thought The Exorcist was scary.
Yeah.
And I even thought of, there was a movie called In Cold Blood. I thought that was scary. Truman Capote. It was a real story. The News is scary. The guy that does the interior decorating at Holiday Inn is scary. Well, you know, there's a lot of scary people out there.
I was thinking, do you think you'd be frightened by the prospect of working in an office doing a normal 9 to 5 job?
That would be scary. That would be horrifying to me. I don't think I could ever do that.
Well, there's a track on the album, the opening track called Freedom.
Yes.
Talking about not working in offices. That's going to be the first single, isn't it, I think, from the record?
Yes, I think that is. And it's also a little message to the PMRC, you know, talking about, you know, who are they? I mean, really, I didn't elect them to be my mom and dad. I didn't elect them to be my authority. They, you know, who are they? So, I mean, I see this great big sort of authority finger going like this. And they start out with the premise that every kid in the United States and every kid in England is stupid. That's the first premise they start out with, that every kid is too stupid to know what to listen to. Personally, I think that that's really a pretty arrogant attitude, you know. I think the kids are a lot smarter than that, especially about rock music. It's their music. What does some, you know, 40-year-old, 45-year-old woman know about rock music?
Well, very little, I suspect. They seem to be trying to ban rock music altogether. That's what they like,
well,
it seems.
I mean, you know, it's a lot of smoke. You know, I think there are a lot of smoke.
But that's always been the way with rock. Since Elvis Presley's day, there's always been people putting it down.
We never had so much problem. The last tour, I've never had so much problem with authority figures.
Really?
All the way through the South especially. I mean, they were going to literally lynch us down there, which made me think, well, we're on the right track. You know?
Were there any things in the show you had to change to play in the South, or did you keep it as it was?
We never changed a thing. And, I mean, you know, what can they do? I mean, you've seen the show. There's really nothing in it that's illegal. You know, there's a lot of suggestive things in it. But everybody that's at the concert, I mean, are having such a good time. I think it'd be crazy to try to stop the show. You know, I just think it's a lot of people that are looking for something to do.
Probably.
So they figure,
Well,
you know, let's pick on Alice, but I don't care. That's fine with me.
Well, you mentioned you're going to be changing the show. Does that mean we're going to be losing the guillotine now?
Yeah, but we'll replace it with something worse. You know, I wouldn't even get rid of it unless I could put something worse in its place.
It's a real trademark as far as Alice Cooper
Yeah,
is concerned.
yeah. I think the next thing will be probably a lot bloodier than this.
Have you worked out the next stage show already?
Yeah, we started working on it already. In fact, they started building the new props about 2 months ago.
Right.
Because a lot of them are pretty, you know, time-consuming as far as putting together.
You've been using something like the guillotine for 10 years now, but I imagine...
Guillotine and a lot of different things, electric chairs and hanging and stuff like that. So
will any of that be coming back, do you think?
I don't know. I can't tell you anyways. I couldn't tell
You're
you.
not going to tell me. But I imagine these days, with more sophisticated special effects, you can let your imagination run riot even more than you could 10 years ago.
Well, even in this show, the Teenage Frankenstein and the impaling and things like that are all things that we got from... We went right to the source, you know, to the movie people and said, how do I do this? And how do I make this thing work? And how do I get it to work? And they can technically tell you how to do it, and they'll build it for you and work it all out. You have to come up with the idea first and how to work it into the show and make it look like it belongs in the show.
I know all the people who've seen your show keep saying, how does he do the thing with the Teenage Frankenstein? Obviously, you're not going to tell me how you do that, but it is an amazing effect.
Yeah.
Plus, you've got it out on video. The whole show's on video. You can actually freeze frame it
and you still can't
tell how it's done.
That's what makes it a good effect. You know, the thing that makes it also work is the fact that it's not set up like a magic show. If we went up there and said, okay, now we're going to do this, you know, and the girl comes out and puts a hoop through it. But what happens is they're not expecting it. The show will be rocking right along, and then all of a sudden, Alice will do it. He killed the guy. I mean, he didn't just throw him off the stage. He put a mic stand through him, you know. And so a lot of the things are built on setting the audience up, you know, and the illusion will happen within the show, so it's not being expected, you know.
When you're thinking about ideas for a new stage show, are there any boundaries you wouldn't cross over and say, that's just too bad taste, I couldn't possibly do that?
Well, I'm not necessarily bad taste, but it has to work every night, for one thing. It has to be a general thing. It can't be like if you're going to make fun of something that happened in the news, and then 5 months later, you're still on tour. People are going to forget what happened in the news, and then the joke is gone, or the point is not taken anymore. I think that we stay pretty much to a basic horror pattern, you know, of how we set things up. Same thing with the snake. The snake is a general horror image. And I think that the stage show is a general horror image. And we stay in that realm. You know, like we don't really do anything religious at all. We don't do anything political, you know, because I think politics is boring. It's just boring as hell. Let you two do the politics, you know. I mean, certain bands are good at that. We find that a little bit boring.
You mentioned about using horror imagery, and one of my favourite Alice Cooper songs was The Black Widow track, in which Vincent Price had a bit of
that
narration.
could show up again.
Because I thought that was great.
You never know. Some songs could show up again because no matter what we do, we always end up doing about 70% of the older stuff because the audience demands it. And I think if we went out and did all the songs of Constrictor and you raise your fist and yell, the audience would be screaming for some of the standards, you know. And so, I mean, we really do have to do almost more than 50% oldies.
Well, we've already mentioned that the new album's out in October. Does that mean you're going to come back to Europe and play some more shows?
We'll be
this year?
doing the States October, November, December, January, and probably over here February, March. That's the plan right now. You know, maybe we could avoid cold weather again. This is the nicest weather. This is the best weather I've ever been in England.
I think you're going to be very lucky.
I hope so.
Maybe when you get on stage, there'll be thunderstorms.
There'll be a lightning storm. That would be great. And then they'll say, "How did Alice ever plan that?"
Good luck, Alice. And
Thanks,
for
Dante.
talking to us.
Thanks. There's a camera on. I didn't know there was
That's
a camera
right, there
on.
is indeed.